Electric Morgantown. They've been camping out since early this morning to get a spot for game one of the Super Regional between the Cal Poly Mustangs and the number 16 national seed, the West Virginia Mountaineers. Pepperoni rolls have been handed out on the Randy's Hill.
Pepperoni rolls.
This is just an electric atmosphere, and what a place to be for the Super Regionals, and the first Super Regional to get going. And the road to the College World Series in Omaha. You see the bracket with the winner of our regional will match up against the Troy Little Rock Super Regional winner. Some party crashers on this side of the bracket for the Men's College World Series. Our eyes are set on Wagoner Field at Kendrick Family Ballpark in Morgantown, West Virginia. And Chance and Cole, first team all Big 12, makes the start for the Mountaineers.
Ace 1A, Ace 1B for head coach Steve Saban's got the first start in the regional. You'll see that sinker slider changeup mix that was so dominant over the weekend. A guy that is very calm, cool, and collected, but very quick and efficient. Will fill up that strike zone, and you're gonna see that tunneling action. Sinker going into the righty, slider away from it. Let's have a dandy here on a beautiful afternoon for baseball.
Nate Castellone climbs in, and the first pitch is fouled off by the Cal Poly shortstop. We are underway from Morgantown, game one of this best-of-3 Morgantown Super Regional. A look at the lineup for Larry Lee and Cal Poly, 39 and 22. Ryan Taman, the Big West Player of the Year. The cleanup batter is a ball hit well to left. Back on it, just shy of the track. Ben Lumsden makes the catch, and that's how this Super Regional begins.
Chance and Cole going to fill up the zone. He's going to challenge you with that sinker, and he's going to try and get ahead and generate a lot of ground balls. This is a staff that led the Big 12 in team ERA, 9th nationally. They're not afraid to attack from pitch number one.
One gone, fly out to left, and now the all-time hits leader in the history of Cal Poly baseball. Alejandro Garza digs in. He became the all-time hit leader during the Los Angeles Regional at UCLA last weekend. And a called strike to Garza, hitting .325, 5 home runs, and celebrating his 21st birthday yesterday here in Morgantown.
The man they call Peanut, looming large for this Cal Poly Mustang offense atop their lineup. What a gem he's been. Get ready to see a bazooka from third base at the hot corner.
And it's 0-2 on Garza. 3-time first-team All-Big West performer. Chance and Cole 9-1 and a 2.87 ERA. Pitched last Friday and got the win against Binghamton. On the ground to second. Routine for Gavin Kelly. Slings it on to first. And 2 quick outs for Chance and Cole.
Last 12 innings for Chance and Cole. Very, very effective. 18 strikeouts, only 2 walks. Not going to beat himself. He is going to force you to put the ball in play. And this defense behind him happy to oblige. Already 2 quick ones here in the first.
Now it's Dylan Kordich, the right fielder for the Mustangs. The senior from San Pedro in Southern California went hitless in the regional last weekend. He was 0 for 15. Second team All Big West, and he looks at a strike from Chance and Cole. Cole threw against Binghamton last Friday. He went 6 innings, throwing 94 pitches, gave up a run on 4 hits with 10 strikeouts. Then he also pitched in relief on Monday against Kentucky, went an inning and 2/3, throwing 36 pitches.
Surreal. Just an unbelievable all-hands-on-deck night. Starters, relievers, everyone getting in on the act for West Virginia.
1-2 on Dylan Kordich. Overshift on for the Mountaineers, and Kordich flares one the other way, and that will reach that grass berm down beyond the third base dugout. And the count holds 1-2 on Dylan Kordich here with 2 down on the Cal Poly first.
Yeah, left-handers have probably had the most success against Cole throughout the year. A .277 average. Righties very paltry at a .156.
A 6'4" right-hander on the hill. Chance and Cole. The pitch. That went in what would be the dirt, and it's 2-2. This is a completely artificial surface. The field turf here in Morgantown. And Cal Poly's barely played on a surface like this all year. The majority of their games have been on natural grass. Ground ball the other way and into left. Beating the shift was Dylan Kordich. And a 2-out hit for Cal Poly in his first hit of the NCAA tournament. And Kordich aboard for Ryan Taman.
Well, just a beautiful job beating the shift here. And when you think about how to beat a sinker ball pitcher, yes, you're going to get a lot of ground balls, but West Virginia likes to shift, likes to create the advantage and play along with the pitch sequence. Excellent 2-out swing right there.
Now here is Taman. Single season record tying 18 homers for the Cal Poly catcher. And he gets under this one, a towering fly playable in left. Ben Lumsden coming over toward the line. And he makes the one-handed catch to retire the side. For the Mustangs, 1 hit, 1 left. They're loving it here in Morgantown. So is Pat McAfee. The king of Morgantown is in the house today. Clearly this is the place to be in Morgantown. If Pat McAfee and Rich Rod are hanging out here right behind the plate at Wagoner Field at Kendrick Family Ballpark in Morgantown.
I'd say that they know a few people to get the good seats right in front of the action here, and what a scene set it is, my friend.
Now, who leaned on who to get those tickets? That's what I want to know.
Got a feeling that Pat took care of his old friend Rich Rod, to say the least.
Griffin Ness, the big righty on the hill for Cal Poly. Not an overpowering pitcher, but he has been great in the postseason.
Absolutely. Fastball, curveball, changeup, again, about 87 to 90 miles an hour. 4 career postseason starts. How about a .27 ERA? Steering the ship today, Roxy. It is a hostile environment. Manage the emotions. Try and get some quick outs and get your boys back to the bat rack.
Larry Lee and the Mustangs finished second in the Big West this year to UC Santa Barbara. And over 750 career wins for Larry Lee in his 24th season as the head coach in San Luis Obispo. They went 22-8 in the Big West. And Santa Barbara was the 2 seed of the Austin Regional, losing in the regional final to Texas. And Cal Poly breaking through for their first Super Regional appearance this year. And the lineup for the Mountaineers and for Steve Sabins, with a lot of depth to this lineup and a lot of speed, and they will put pressure on Cal Poly all series long.
The last 2 days of the Morgantown Regional, Steve Sabins made a tweak to the lineup, inserting Armani Guzman at the top as the leadoff man. All he did was return the favor, a .455 average, 8 runs scored, and of course, one of the big moments in West Virginia history, the walk-off to punch their ticket right here this afternoon.
308 hitter, still looking for his first home run, Guzman. And the pitch is low, and he beat the shift the other way. He might try for 2, racing around first, on his way to second, and he dives in safe at second base. A hustle double for Guzman to get it started for the Mountaineers.
Well, pick it up right where he left off after the single in the 10th inning to get the Mountaineers here. How about an extra base hit to lead off the bottom of the first, thinking 2 all the way out of the box, taking advantage. And already a runner in scoring position to begin business for the Mountaineers, and their main man, Gavin Kelly, to the plate.
On the first pitch from Ness, West Virginia had 16 first pitch hits in the regional round, and now they're 17th of the NCAA tournament. Spin, been a half-hearted move by Griffin Ness to second. As Gavin Kelly, 381, 16 homers, 56 batted in. He was the Morgantown Regional most outstanding player.
He catches, he plays second base, he does everything. Very similar in build to the budding superstar J.J. Weatherholt.
Change it for a strike, to the chagrin of this full throat, full house in Morgantown, as Cal Poly putting the shift on as well for Gavin Kelly. Guzman at second, now 11 for his last 23. Griffin Ness, the pitch. In the air, right center field, ranging over is Dylan Kordich to the alleyway, and the right fielder makes the catch, tagging. Guzman breaks for third, he'll get there easily. Deep fly out, advancing the runner.
Now, if you think about where West Virginia was as far as super regional teams coming into play for this round. 43% of their runs have come via the extra base hit this season. They have been single monsters. That figure right there is the lowest among super regional teams. They've found a way to kind of be able to beat you by 1,000 cuts. You see the numbers, 146 ribbies on singles, second most amongst these teams here.
Now it's center fielder Paul Schoenfeld for the Mountaineers, and he takes the curve outside from Ness. 346, 4 homers for Schoenfeld, riding a modest 6-game hitting streak. He has hit safely in 9 of the last 10. Second team all Big 12 for Schoenfeld. The pitch. That floats outside from Ness. It's 2-0.
Griffin Ness, again with runners in scoring position, has been lethal against left-handed bats. A .188 average against. Paul Schoenfeld, as we know, has had a flair for the dramatic, but Griffin Ness, big reason why Cal Poly is here. Those numbers right there.
Schoenfeld, who's bounced around, began the season as a left fielder for West Virginia. Then he moved into center right around late February. Excellent defender. And it's ball 4, and Ness walks him on 4.
Probably a smart decision considering the situation. How about Paul Schoenfeld coming into that at bat? Can I interest you in a .696 average, 16-23 with a runner on third and less than 2 outs? Think you gonna live to fight another day and try and create that right-on-right matchup with the potential for the inning-ending double play.
Now the cleanup batter, West Virginia DH, Sean Smith climbs in. .313 hitter with 8 homers. Honorable mention all Big 12 for Smith. Last 2 years at Georgia Southern. Runners at the corners, 1 out. A threat for the Mountaineers. And there's a ball hit well out toward deep left center. Murray going back, onto the track, at the wall, gone, home run!
Pat McAfee loves it. Sean Smith's gonna like it even more. And for the man that had more hit by pitches in the regional round than hits, sucks the biggest one here to get a 3-run homer. And West Virginia with an early statement. Big ball to get them rocking and rolling here in Morgantown.
9th for Sean Smith. Still just 1 out. As Ness missing ball 1 to Matthew Gravelin, the catcher. Boy, what a start for West Virginia to the Super Regional. The count on Gravelin.
Kind of the scouting report we talked to you about with Griffin Ness. Again, it's not overwhelming as far as the velo, but you're going to have to fill up that zone and be able to pitch from ahead in the count.
And it's 3-0. Gravelin a 9-game hitting streak. As Ryan Taman and the pitching coach for Cal Poly, Seth Moyer, headed out to the mound. The first inning struggles for Griffin Ness.
It's not even a high pitch count, right? It's just the aggressiveness of where West Virginia has taken advantage of some mistakes out over the big part of the plate. Guzman wasted no time getting the action started with the leadoff double. Good situational baseball from Gavin Kelly to get him to third. And then that set the stage for Sean Smith. Again, look where the pitch is. And that is exactly what you asked for as a middle of the order bat. I think he knew he got enough. It carried a little bit. For those that are just watching Morgantown for the first time and how the ball plays here, you're going to see the ball carry much farther to left and left center. A little bit more difficult to go out to right. But Sean Smith, go on down. Reservations for 3 as they're out to the early lead.
Breeze pushing out toward the left field corner. And the temp's right around 80 degrees here in Morgantown. Ness, the 3-0 pitch, and it's a called strike to Matthew Gravelin. It's 3-1. Gravelin, the transfer from Ohio State, the last 3 years with the Buckeyes. Behind the plate for West Virginia today. Bouncer near the bag at second. Station, that's Jake Downing, the second baseman, right behind the bag. And he throws on Gravelin 2 away.
Good visit, right? Pitching coach comes out. Hey, just give him a breath. Big spot, big moment, big atmosphere. Stay within yourself, man. Big reason why you've been successful. Being able to be in the zone, stay down, force a hitter to cover both sides. Great recovery there from Griffin Ness.
Now the shortstop, Matt Einish, climbs in for West Virginia. Starting every game at short for the Mountaineers this year, and it's strike one from Ness. Honorable mention all Big 12 for Einish. Winch is 3 for 17 in the regional. Transfer from Ohio U, he was second team All-MAC last year. 1-1 the count.
Kind of tell him just mechanically a little bit that Ness is drifting a little bit glove side. If you leave it elevated, this is a West Virginia team, and particularly Einish, been great at putting the ball in play.
Change up, line to center, right toward Casey Murray Jr. And he goes back to make the catch, side retired, but a big strike for West Virginia's second time in the tournament. They've scored 3 or more in the first inning.
How about the big fella? Give me a big moment and a big swing. Yeah, let's get the boys rowdy. 3-0 West Virginia after 1.
One of these teams will reach Omaha for the first time in their program's history. And an early lead for the Mountaineers, a 3-run blast off the bat of DH Sean Smith. And the number 16 national seed, West Virginia, 43 wins. They went 21-9, finishing second in the Big 12 to Kansas. Max Yale, who we expect to see potentially tomorrow, the Big 12 pitcher of the year. As Chanson Cole starts off the second, Cam Hoyland takes a strike. The DH for Cal Poly hitting .315, 6 homers for Hoyland. Homered twice in the regional in LA last weekend. 6-game hitting streak for Hoyland. The last 9 games, he is 13 for his last 28. Line drive, left center toward the gap. That'll get all the way to the wall, and Hoyland digging for 2. And a leadoff double for Cal Poly to start the second. And the Mustangs, 3rd in the country in doubles this season coming in. And there's a double to give them a start here in the top of the second.
Well, just well executed. Pitch up out over the big part of the plate. And Hoyland just executes. Nice simple swing. I'll tell you, something to watch. And especially the first time around in this Cal Poly lineup, it has been a theme against sinker ballers. They have been one of the best teams at being able to hit that pitch. It is one of the primary weapons for Chanson Cole. So they are not afraid to be able to see it a long time and take it the other way.
Now tied for second with Georgia Tech for the most doubles behind St. Mary's, who they eliminated in the regional final in Los Angeles. And Georgia Tech, the #1 hitting team in the country, and that's who Cal Poly just moved into a tie for the second most doubles in the country this year.
Yeah, so a .393 team average for Cal Poly against sinkers. And how about .413 over their last 45 days? So you're talking about best on best right here. One of Chanson Cole's primary out pitches, also something that Cal Poly has seen quite well.
Cole 9-1 with a .287 ERA this year. Jake Downing, swing and a miss, 2-2 the count. And Cal Poly has won 12 of their last 13 games. And there's what you're talking about with their success against the sinker.
Yeah, just again, a one-track mindset, middle to the opposite part of the field.
Just getting a piece, Jake Downing stays alive. And a sophomore from Redwood City, California, and the prestigious Sarah High School, which also produced the likes of Barry Bonds and Tom Brady.
Pretty good, pretty good ilk to be a part of there.
Well, in this area of the country, Lynn Swan, also a Sarah High School Padre. And a full count on Downing here with Hoyland, the runner at second base.
Well, backup slider there, and you mentioned famous alumni, Jake Downing.
That's prestigious company.
That's pretty good.
Baseball legacy, Jim Fregosi with her, Greg Jeffries, same high school. Called strike 3, and Downing has gone looking. First strikeout for Chanson Cole.
Well, this is a two-seam fastball, and after just not having the slider in his arsenal, how about a little front door piece? It comes right back over. Great pitch presentation from Matthew Gravelin. Maybe it was a tick low, but boy, to be able to pull it back up, that is a nice strikeout to steal there for out number 1.
Now it's Casey Murray Jr. 1 out. Cam Hoyland, the runner at second for the Mustangs. And fouled off by the senior. Casey Murray Jr. had a red-hot regional at Jackie Robinson Stadium last weekend. Went 7 for 12, drove in 5. He is the Big West Defensive Player of the Year and a second-team All-League performer. Third year at Cal Poly for Murray. Check back, Hoyland the runner. 1 ball, 1 strike on Casey Murray Jr.
Probably see a little more change up here to the righties from Chanson Cole. He has been lethal with runners in scoring position, and .077 average against right-handed bats.
The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss at the off speed. 1-2 the count on Murray. Cole, who has won his last 5 decisions, including that win against Binghamton, the regional opener last Friday. A nice sliding stop by Gravelin behind the plate.
You can already tell it's a pretty distinct scouting report here, and why not? One of the hottest hitters for Cal Poly. Murray Jr. just, how about 10 for his last 16, and it's been with authority, so already can tell with the base open, trying to avoid damage.
Over the top of the changeup.
All of that predicated on fastball arm speed. Chanson Cole, again, everything out of that same release point, but the difference here, it looks like a heater coming out and then free air conditioning with the swing and miss over the top. Beautifully executed and a critical second out.
Leadoff double still at second base. And now it's Gavin Spiridonov, the freshman first baseman for the Mustangs. Chanson Cole. And it's strike 1. He's thrown a first pitch strike to 7 of the first 8 Cal Poly batters.
Very much the MO here. Again, be able to get ahead, expand the plate east and west with that sinker slider arsenal. See if he goes back to it here.
1 strike pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike at Spiridonov, a .292 hitter with 4 homers. And Spiridonov hit a 3-run shot last Sunday against St. Mary's in the regional final that gave them the lead for good, and they'd go on to win. 1-2 the count. In fact, the freshman hit it, and as he was rounding the bases, he said he blacked out. He was just overrun with all the excitement and adrenaline and emotion that he blacked out, didn't remember circling the bases. The 1-2, no, it's a spin and a throw to second base, with the pitch clock winding down on Chanson Cole.
Now, credit where it's due. Cal Poly has made Cole work here a little bit. 30 pitches thus far. For a guy coming off a relief appearance on Monday night, interested to see what his length will be in this outing.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss, tied him up on a pitch down and in. And 3 straight strikeouts to wiggle out of it after the leadoff double for Cal Poly.
How about a shutdown inning from one of the aces of the Mountaineer staff? Can I interest you in 3 punch-outs for the frame? How about we get a little bit of going now with a changeup looking, with a little changeup swinging, and then one more time for good measure. Outstanding from Cole in the second.
And I have a feeling it's going to get larger and larger, the gathering, as this super regional and game 1 goes on. And here's what's at stake. As both West Virginia and Cal Poly, then you look at who this super regional matches up with, Little Rock and Troy, all looking for their first trips to Omaha.
And I think first, the operative word, first time, what, since 1999 that all 8 participants going to Omaha this year. will be completely different than the year before. Not one team that we saw in the College World Series last year will qualify this year. We'll have a new national champion. LSU didn't even make the tournament. The #1 national seed UCLA dispatched.
Popped up, shallow left center off the bat of Brody Kresser. And the left fielder, Dante Bikini, over and in to make the catch. And there's one gone here in the last of the second inning. The NCAA Super Regional coverage continues this weekend on ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU, and ESPN Plus. For more information, visit NCAA.com, the home for all NCAA championships. One gone, the last of the second, bottom of the order here for West Virginia. After a flyout from Kresser, the 8-hitter, Ben Lumsden digs in. And he takes a strike from Griffin Ness. 258 with a homer for the Mountaineers left fielder.
6 for 14 in the Morgantown Regional. Had a big home run, 5 RBI, 9 walks to lead the team. He was an igniter from the bottom of the lineup.
What was the default as Ferris Bueller's Day Off? Nine times?
I would imagine that some people are taking some days off today, whether it be PTO, whether it be voluntary. A few people skipping out on the afternoon.
1-1 the count on Lumsden. One gone, last of the second. Griffin Ness, the pitch. And that's down low with a changeup. Mike Lusky calling the balls and strikes, by the way. Normally works in the Big 10 and the Big 12. First base umpire Steve Mattingly. SEC and Big 12 ump. For the ACC, Travis Carlson out at second. And Brian Peterson for the ACC and Big 12. Down the line at third. And a called strike on Lumsden evens the count.
Nice little changeup right there from Griffin Ness. Again, kind of having to recoup the emotion a little bit. Gets knocked in the face there with the 3-run homer in the first. How do you respond to that adversity here?
2-2. Tipped in the glove, held on to by Taman. And Lumsden, strikeout victim #1 for Griffin Ness. And there's 2 away.
Well, much in the same way you saw Chanson Cole arm speed it with his off speed. Same way here, a little bit higher of a release point, so that's a tougher down angle for both the lefties and the righties. Ben Lumsden just waving at it, and a strikeout for one of the aces of this Mustang staff.
Now the third baseman, Tyrus Hall for West Virginia. 2 gone, bottom of the second. And there's a foul at home plate. Hall 5 homers, hitting .268. Last 2 years at Bossier Parish Community College in Bossier City, Louisiana. 5 for 19, drove in 4 in the Morgantown Regional last weekend. It's Griffin Ness missing outside, 1-1. And you look at Ness, the big 6'6" right-hander. There is the former head coach of West Virginia, Randy Mazey. They dubbed Randy's Ridge up there up above first base.
Big reason for that. Back in 2019, for those that remember here in the regional, he was ejected from the game, went in full uniform up to the top to watch the rest of the game. So the namesake goes, Randy's Ridge, and here we are.
Change up for a strike, 2-2, and he's technically outside the ballpark, so it is legal. You just, when you're thrown out, you can't watch the game from inside the premises.
Probably had a thought or two from on high. Might be scoring the game, too.
2-2 pitch. And a changeup that bounces from Griffin Ness. You think Ness, being the 6'6" right-hander, would be overpowering, but he's anything but.
Well, I think what's great is in our age of high velocity, right, this is a little throwback here. Command and control and under the hitting speed for most of these lineups.
High chop, charging in a third. Alejandro Garza on the move, flips to first, and he gets him on a close play. Garza showing off that arm right there.
Wow, what footwork, what poise, and the bazooka from third base on the run. Come on, play with it.
Gorgeous look at the ballpark here in Morgantown. A 3-0 lead for West Virginia. First inning, 3-run shot from Sean Smith, setting the tone for the Mountaineers as they carry that 3-0 lead to the third. 9-1-2 for Cal Poly here against Chanson Cole. It'll be Dante Bikini, Nate Castellon, and Alejandro Garza for the Mustangs against the first team all Big 12 performers. We welcome in the head coach of the Mountaineers, Steve Sabins, from his dugout. And what a start in this atmosphere, Steve. How critical was it for your team to set the tone like you did in that first inning?
Yeah, it was great. They came out swinging, had some great at-bats. Cresser! Yeah, I started off with Guzman, right? I mean, stretching that single into a double and just bringing aggressiveness and fearlessness was a hell of a start for the Mountaineers.
Coach, appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Steve Sabins, the head coach. Second season as the head man, 11th overall as the head this West Virginia program for Sabins. And it comes from kind of fastball over the inside edge to Dante Bikini. It's 1-1.
I can tell you that man as locked in as it gets, and I mean from just talking with us yesterday, his eyes
was locked in from down there. Really?
Oh, when we were sitting with him on the patio, he's got eyes on a swivel. He's checking everything that's going on. Man does not miss a detail. Big reason why these guys are 2 wins from Omaha.
3-1 on Bikini. Had a really good regional in LA as the 9-hitter. Correction, 2-2 the count on Bikini. He went 5 for 11 in Los Angeles last weekend, and he fights that one off. And that one dribbles foul over behind Larry Lee, the head coach of the Mustangs, in the third base coaching box.
How about the Bikini family? Has a fraternal twin sister, Bianca, and then his older brother and sister, Dominic and Sophia. Go figure, fraternal twins as well.
And he's caught looking. 4 consecutive batters that Chanson Cole has struck out.
He has been really good with the 3-pitch arsenal. Sinker, slider, changeup. How about a little a slider? And that one probably fooled Bikini just enough where it looked like it might have stayed out, but it had that sharp late break. Freezes him for his 4th punch out of the afternoon.
Now back to the top of the order, and Nate Castellón. He takes a strike on the inside edge. 9 of the first 10 batters, first pitch strikes for Cole.
Great way to do business. Makes life easy. Forces the hitter to be defensive.
Right at the knees. 0-2. Castellón, a 10-game hitting streak. First team all Big West. The 2-strike pitch. Chasing one. That's 5 consecutive batters that Cole has struck out.
Well, and it hasn't mattered between the slider or the changeup. Chanson Cole is absolutely in the zone right now. This time, yeah, a little free air conditioning on the changeup right there. Fastball arm speed allows you to expand north and south. He is on point here so far this afternoon.
Alejandro Garza, the hitter now for the Mustangs. As Cole winds, and it's an off-speed down low. Garza, the all-time hits leader in Cal Poly history. He set that mark. Now 253 career hits at the LA Regional last weekend, and he waves through a breaking ball.
28 multi-hit games too, leading the team, and these 2 guys at the top, Castellón and Garza, have been the table setters for Cal Poly.
2-1 the count on Garza. And since May 9th, Cal Poly has the best winning percentage in the country. Won 12 of their last 13. And they swept through the Los Angeles Regional last weekend. Mighty cut by Garza, it's 2-2. They outscored their opponents 25-5 in Los Angeles, which is crazy because when they won the Big West tournament 2 weeks ago, they scored a total of 11 runs over 4 games to win it at Cicerone Field in Irvine, California. Full count on Garza. You got the opposite end, the extremes, right?
Coast to coast, almost.
Full count on Garza. Cole, the pitch. That's fouled off the front foot, and Garza stays in there. And he'll walk it off.
Now, you can already tell just this first time through and then some for Chanson Cole. Sinker has late life to it. You're seeing that he is missing barrels at a very high rate. Optimum start for West Virginia.
Cole strikes out the side. 6 straight hitters that Jansen Cole has struck out.
They're loving it in Morgantown, and why not? Jansen Cole, come on down, big fella. Feeling it here this afternoon at West Virginia.
Game 1 in this best 2 out of 3 Super Regional Series. 3-run homer in the first, Sean Smith for the Mountaineers. Top of the order for West Virginia in the 3rd.
I'll tell you, we knew that emotions would be high. We knew there'd be adrenaline. And I think a critical frame here for Griffin Ness as he will face Armani Guzman for the 2nd time. A little erratic early, up in the zone in the 1st, acquitted himself well in the 2nd. I think that release point with how tall he is, Roxy, it is a real tough uphill battle for hitters because of the ability for him to change angle north and south. Let's see if he makes the adjustment 2nd time through.
Pops this one up. Right side of the infield, Jake Downing gives way to the shortstop, Nate Castellone. And he makes the catch. And there's one out here in the last of the 3rd.
You know that Griffin Ness was going to be raised with the athletic gene. It runs in the family. His father, Kobe, former football and baseball player at Cal Poly. Brother Nolan was a basketball player at Army West Point. How about his sister Piper, played some beach volleyball at Cal Poly? How about some of those holidays? Hey, what do you want to do? Run it back. Let's rock.
Now Gavin Kelly, a fly out in the 1st. And weak grounded to short, charging in is Castellone on the move. And he throws him out. And 2 quick outs for Griffin Ness in the bottom of the 3rd.
Sure, Steve Saban's taking some time here to talk with one of his heroes of the Morgantown Regional. Paul Schoenfeld, a blast that will be remembered in Morgantown lore forever. That 2-run homer, your go-ahead game winner in the 9th, part of a 5-run comeback victory against Kentucky. The theater and the drama of those final 2 days here for the regional. Roxy, I've seen a lot of baseball. You have too. Surreal is the only word that I can continue to describe what we saw.
Schoenfeld, a weak ground at a 3rd. And the first pitch, fielded by Alejandro Garza, rifles to 1st. Griffin Ness, a 4-pitch inning. On to the 4th, 3-0 Mountaineers.
Well, couldn't ask for a better start from one of the aces of the Mountaineers staff, Jansen Cole. How about getting a lot of swing and miss and a lot of tickets being punched. Watching the show, 6 consecutive strikeouts for the last 6 hitters that he's faced. An array of off-speed, sharp breaking ball, devastating changeup, and the faithful here in Morgantown absolutely loving what they're seeing from their big right-hander.
Heart of the order for Cal Poly as we go to the 4th. And the first Big 12 pitcher with 6 straight strikeouts this season.
What a time to have it, huh?
Dylan Cordage, who singled in the 1st, will lead it off. Ryan Taman, Cam Hoyland to follow for the Mustangs. And the first pitch is in the air to right field. Going back on it is Guzman to the track, at the wall, gone, home run. First pitch ambush. Dylan Cordage gets the Mustangs on the board.
Well, that's the rebuttal you were looking for if you're Cal Poly. You needed a moment after the quick, and I mean inning of alacrity from Griffin Ness. 4 pitches to get the boys back to the bat rack. Yeah, let's get it rolling. And that a statement blast to get Cal Poly on the board.
10th homer for Cordage. And the senior gets Cal Poly on the board as Ryan Taman looks at a strike.
All you can ask for, right? Middle of the lineup to be able to take advantage of mistakes. And Cordage just knew it. That is up, elevated, and right into the happy zone. Did not miss. Big one there for Cal Poly.
Tied up Taman, and it's 0-2. Cordage also hit a huge 3-run homer in the Big West tournament final against UC San Diego. Taman rockets that one down the left side, foul.
I've already noticed a change here, Roxy. You've got second time around here for this Cal Poly lineup. Hyper aggressive early in the count, not wanting Jansen Cole to have a chance to get to that devastating off speed.
Here comes the 0-2 to Taman. 1-2 the count. It's Taman a 13-game hitting streak right now, and tied for the single season home run record in Cal Poly history. Monty Waltz established the record in 1985. And the LA Regional Most Outstanding Player, 2 homers last weekend in Los Angeles.
That's their guy. Love what he does.
Just got a piece, and it pinballs around behind the plate. Taman's still alive.
Probably one of their best, if not their best, pro hitting prospect.
Last 2 years at Cal, then moving closer to home, San Luis Obispo. And if you're wondering where is San Luis Obispo, it's about halfway in between San Francisco and LA. About 3 hours from each.
And not often that you get the hometown kid that stays home. Usually it's go north for school, go south, but staying home, one of the pride of the area.
Struck him out. Off speed, down and in. 7 consecutive outs via the strikeout for Jansen Cole.
Well, the changeup has been very, very efficient, especially under the barrel of right-handed hitters. This is all arm speed. Again, when you got to sit for the sinker and be ready to kind of lift it, that changeup just bottoms out, and you don't have enough real estate to go down and get it. 7 straight strikeouts for the right-hander.
Sophomore from Boiling Springs, South Carolina, transferred to West Virginia. As Cole facing Cam Hoyland, who doubled in the second. Cole last year pitched at Newberry College, a private Lutheran college, Division II in Newberry, South Carolina.
His demeanor would be indicative of that part of the country, just kind of down home, quiet, but full of confidence.
There's a strike to Cam Hoyland. It's 2-1. And last year at the Division II level, he was 7-5 with a 3.39 ERA. Blossoming here, moving up to the Big 12. The other way, slicing foul off the bat of Hoyland. Again, we'll do it 2-2 on Cam Hoyland, the DH for Cal Poly. Popped it up. This will get out of play behind the plate.
Cam Hoyland, how about his cousin Caitlin, a gymnast at Oregon State, national champ at the Women's University. A lot of athletic lineage amongst this Cal Poly crew.
Hoyland from Renton, Washington, a suburb of Seattle. A JC transfer. And that one hit him. And a one-out base runner for Cal Poly, and Hoyland will trot down to first.
You can tell the reaction from Jansen Cole there. Upset it himself, kind of yanked that breaking ball. And Cam Hoyland, the beneficiary right there, just standing tall, and backside of the foot right there, inside of it, the instep. Well, that brings the tying run to the plate. Good visit here from Matthew Gravlett just to kind of get Jansen Cole back to center.
Coming up, we'll talk to the head coach of Cal Poly, Larry Lee. West Virginia hits in the home half of the 4th inning. 24 years at Cal Poly, and what a program he has established.
16 of his Cal Poly players having reached the major leagues. There were only 9 before his tenure from the 1930s to the early 2000s. Probably some names you recognize: Mitch Haniger, Brian Wu. Told that Mr. Wu had a little special delivery for the boys before this Super Regional started as well.
Downing struck out looking in the second. Cam Hoyland, the runner at first. Bluffs going, and a weak tapper foul. Dribbled by Jake Downing. It's 0-1. So the Cal Poly Mustangs, the alumni base, you mentioned Brian Wu, Mitch Haniger. You go back, the Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
Mike Krukow, a 20-game winner with the San Francisco Giants. Longtime Major League starter. And also you see the name Brooks Lee. He is the son of Cal Poly head coach Larry Lee.
What a story. If you have 10 or 15 minutes uninterrupted, one of the best stories, challenging stories of how they tried to get to his Major League debut.
Strike 3 call, inside edge. 8 strikeouts for Jansen Cole.
I mean, this is getting absurd. Now, maybe the beneficiary of a call that goes his way, but again, Matthew Gravelin just being able to present it really well, stealing another strikeout. Unbelievable run here for Jansen Cole.
Now it's Casey Murray Jr. with 2 outs. Cam Hoyland at first. And there's ball 1 to Murray, who struck out in the second. He is 0 for 1. The pitch, and Murray takes a strike. Sinker at the bottom of the zone, 1-1.
And they call Boogie because he was born on Halloween. Well, he's been the Boogie Man for this lineup, one of the hottest hitters, and will try and counteract how hot Jansen Cole has been.
Foul tip to the plate by Casey Murray Jr. 1-2 on the Mustang center fielder. Cal Poly getting on the board here in the 4th. The leadoff homer by Dylan Kordich, his 10th of the year. And 5 of the 10 have come since May 1st. Just off the outside. Crowd thought it was there, but 2-2 the count on Casey Murray Jr.
That would have been a bit too generous, to say the least. But good discipline from Casey Murray Jr. Got to have that opposite field approach.
Murray taps it foul off toward the Cal Poly dugout.
Well, for 2 teams that came in since May 1st, really twirling the ball well. West Virginia, 9 occurrences, Cal Poly 8. They rank 1st and 2nd respectively in allowing 2 runs or fewer.
Just low to Casey Murray Jr. and a full count. We mentioned how well Cal Poly's been playing. West Virginia's won 15 of their last 18 games. They finished just 1 game behind Kansas in the Big 12, and then lost to the Jayhawks in the Big 12 tournament championship out in Arizona. Murray goes the other way and pokes one into right for a hit. Around second, Cam Hoyland to third. And a 2-out single the other way by Casey Murray Jr. 5-game hitting streak now for Murray. And Cal Poly with runners at the corners for Gavin Spiridonov.
Had a lot of real estate to work with. Infield and shaded to the left side. And again, talked about having that opposite field approach. Well, Casey Murray Jr. executes wonderfully. And now the tying run at first, the go-ahead here at home plate.
8-hitter for the Mustangs. Spiridonov struck out his first time. And the freshman in a big spot for Cal Poly. Jansen Cole. Ball 1. Spiridonov, who bounced, played some third, played some second base for Cal Poly this year. And he took over the first base job around the middle of April. And a strike to Spiridonov. And Larry Lee, pretty much the first 2 months of the season, was trying to find where the pieces were going to fit. One and two the count on Spiridonov.
Well, the bottom third of this Cal Poly lineup did most of the damage this past weekend in Los Angeles. The 7 through 9 hitters, .417 batting average, 3 extra base hits, 10 runs driven in.
1 and 2, the pitch. Swing and a miss. 9 strikeouts, and Jansen Cole each of the last 9 outs. Speaking of the punch out.
The cambio is the elixir today, and boy, oh boy, we are approaching some ridiculousness. Jansen Cole has got the strikeout working today.
3-1 West Virginia. We go to the bottom of the fourth with Jensen Lewis and our ESPN crew. Roxy Bernstein with you from Morgantown. Game one of this Super Regional, joined by the Cal Poly head coach Larry Lee. And Coach, your program broke through this year. What does it mean for Cal Poly baseball to make it to a Super Regional?
Yeah, it's big. You know, it's tough just to get an opportunity to play in a regional, get a berth, and you know, we were lucky the last 2 years. We had a conference tournament for the first time since the 1990s and won both of them and had an opportunity. So, yeah, it's been good for our program.
Larry, your ace on the hill, Griffin Ness, got hit kind of in the...
Gets past the diving Casey Murray Jr., backed up by Dante Bikini. And Sean Smith, the leadoff double to open up the bottom of the fourth.
I was going to ask you, Coach, Griffin was, you know, really good bouncing back after that first inning. What have you seen from him the last couple?
Well, first inning was obviously shaky. And he settled in, threw very well for a couple of innings. Obviously, we just gave up the leadoff double. We just got to stay close, got to shorten the game, and just try to be within 2 or 3 runs in the latter third of the game. And that we were doing that. We missed on a couple of opportunities where I don't know, second inning and then last inning we had opportunity to drive some guys in and didn't put the ball in play. So that's, you know, their pitcher is keeping us off balance a little bit. He mixes pretty well.
Larry, appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Line foul by Matthew Graveline. Leadoff double by Sean Smith.
Almost felt a very carbon copy of the swing that ended up leaving in the first inning. You see Coach Lee headed back, and the prowess that he has imposed here on this Cal Poly program, exceptional.
In the air, right side, shallow right, hustling over toward the line, and a basket catch made. Now breaking for third is Sean Smith, and a tremendous throw. Dylan Cornish, the rifle to third, and the double play for Cal Poly. Boy, the ground that, actually they're saying safe at third base. Looking at the Cal Poly dugout, if he will challenge on a close play. And Larry Lee saying, hang on a second.
Well, first of all, the effort by Cornish to go get it, a little basket catch, and then an absolute howitzer. And with the carpet here, he gets a favorable short hop. Boy, oh boy, a close tag by Garza. And Sean Smith selling out there, and it was a creative slide, taking the right arm back, extending the left hand.
And the throw a little bit offline from Cornish. One out, and Einish takes the ball from Griffin Ness. That was a tremendous slide, avoiding the tag.
Creativity, right? You know, you're in the moment there. You can see where that fielder's getting ready to be able to grab the ball and apply the tag. Well done by Sean Smith.
Here comes the 1-0 pitch, and it's 2-0 outside Griffin Ness. Matt Einish, a fly out in the first. He is 0 for 1. Leadoff double by Smith, and then the great dive around the tag, and he's at third with 1 out. And a changeup from Ness and a called strike.
Not often you see a little 2-0 change, but great idea there from Ness. And Einish, who really struggled in the region, only a .176 average. Chance to atone right here.
The 2-1. There's a strike as Ness sneaks the fastball by him. Corners are playing up a bit while the middle of the diamond is back. They will concede the run for the out.
Yeah, and just remember the speed from Smith from third. Not a blazer by any means, but certainly one they could try and cut down at the plate.
2-2 the count on Einish. Ness, the pitch. Check swing. No one appeal.
Tell you, West Virginia been the beneficiary of some close calls with Chanson Cole on the mound. Ryan Taman trying to steal a strikeout for his big right-hander.
Good call by Brian Peterson at third on the no swing. The payoff pitch to Einish, and that one hit him. Or did it hit the handle of the bat?
I think it hit the knob right on the bottom, and you could see him. If it would have hit his hand, I think we would have had a much more dramatic reaction. But you could see him kind of come forward. Yep, I think the knob for sure.
Again, the 3-2 popped out of play.
It has been a real struggle for Einish. 2 for his last 15. He does lead the team with 47 walks, 9 hit by pitches. You're just looking for something elevated to try and drive it to the outfield.
Inside, ball 4. Second walk issued by Griffin Ness. And the Mountaineers have runners at the corners with 1 out. And Brody Kresser coming up.
So a very leadoff hitter mentality. And Roxy, for those just joining us, it had been Einish in a leadoff spot, but Armani Guzman inserted there the last couple of days of the Morgantown Regional. Einish, great plate discipline. We mentioned leading the team with those walks. So now, still the double play. You're Cal Poly, a ground ball. You still got a chance to get out of the inning with no damage done.
And Ness induced 2 double plays from Virginia Tech in his start last Friday to open the Los Angeles Regional for Cal Poly. The overshift on by the Mustangs defensively. Line drive out towards shallow left, and it bounces in front of Dante Bikini and a hit. RBI for Brody Kresser. Sean Smith is in, 4-1 West Virginia.
Well, he only had 1 RBI in the Morgantown Regional. He has tied that already in the second AB, and just a sound piece of hitting. Yet again, something elevated, and that is where Griffin Ness has been hurt so far today. Middle to outer part of the plate. West Virginia has been exceptional at taking advantage of those mistakes.
Cal Poly lucky that Dante Bikini came up with that on the short hop out there. If it skips by him, they're all still running. Called strike to the left fielder, Ben Lumsden. Sinking liner and an RBI single for Brody Kresser. Matt Einish, the runner at second. West Virginia getting that run back here in the bottom of the 4th. The homer in the top of the inning from the right fielder, Dylan Kordich.
For those that have not watched a lot of Cal Poly this year, Larry Lee, very deliberate with his starting pitching, going to allow them opportunities to get deep into games, give them chances to work through adversity. Pivotal moment right here.
That floats high away. They have slipped out of the hand of Ness, but he has so much confidence and belief, and not just Ness, but who we'll see tomorrow in game 2 more than likely, Carson Turnquist. And if we get to a game 3, Josh Volberding. And it's 3-1 on Lumsden.
Right now, the Cal Poly bullpen is quiet, and that would reinforce your idea of Larry Lee trying to have Griffin Ness work out of it. Hey, 127 postseason ERA through 4 starts, but up against it right here in the bottom of the Mountaineer lineup.
2 on, 1 out. Ness, the 3-1. Strike as he darts the outside corner with a fastball.
Now, if I'm Ben Lumsden, again, you've got a pretty decent hole to the left side of the infield. You can shoot something through, you're going to count another one.
Just to let know Matt Einish that Griffin Ness is aware he's out there.
Yep.
Full count, 1 out. The pitch. And it's ball 4. They're loaded for the Mountaineers.
Well, Ben Lumsden had 9 walks in the Morgantown Regional. That led everyone on the West Virginia offense. Make it 10 so far here in postseason play. And now decision time for head coach Larry Lee.
Mound visit, Seth Moyer, the pitching coach for the Mustangs. Heading to the mound. There is still no bullpen activity. In fact, Jensen, I'm looking down there. I don't even see a pitcher in the bullpen for Cal Poly right now.
Oh, they're going to ride with what got him here. And I think that's the one thing to remember. In their history, you know, recently, Cal Poly much more offensive, And the tables have sort of turned for them this year. It has been their staff that has led them in a big way with some great situational hitting. They're going to have to lean on their big right-hander right here in a massive spot.
And a pitching staff that has battled some injuries this year. They didn't have their number 3 starter, Josh Volmerding, for a good chunk of the year. A big arm they were counting on. Leif Palmer, who transferred from Oregon State, was supposed to factor potentially into the weekend rotation. He was injured and lost for the season early.
Very quick work and efficient work in the LA Regional. Different story so far for Griffin Ness today.
Bases full, 1 out. The 9-hitter Tyrus Hall for the Mountaineers. Grounded out in the second. And it's ball 1. And in that regional last weekend, the collective ERA for Cal Poly was 1.33.
It has been a trouble spot against righties with runners in scoring position for Ness. A .277 average against. Big opportunity for the bottom of the Mountaineer lineup.
2-0 the count. Bases full for West Virginia. Ness in desperate need of a strike. In the air to right, toward the line, racing back toward the corner. It is gone! Grand slam, Tyrus Hall.
Well, he calls himself the 4th nailer as Pat McAfee cheers all around. If you've watched any big league baseball, you know Josh Naylor has had a flair for the dramatic and the big blast. Well, come on down, Tyrus Hall, Oppo, Taco, grand slam, and he's ready. He's showing Rich Rod, put the helmet on, I'm ready to run through a wall.
Tyrus Hall sends one over the wall. Ball 1 to Armani Guzman. Back to the top of the order for the Mountaineers.
Well, this is again another mistake elevated in what you dream of with the bases loaded spot. And Tyrus Hall did not miss.
The other way. And Guzman, a sharp single to left. And right now for West Virginia, the hits just keep on coming.
Well, Guzman continues to stay red hot atop this Mountaineer lineup. Just easy swing out to the left side, and now some action in the Cal Poly bullpen. Brady Estes, the left-handed freshman, looking to start getting loose, but how about the left-handed sweet swing in Armani Guzman? Silky young fella.
Now it's Gavin Kelly who's 0 for 2. Guzman, who can fly. The runner at first as Ness steps off. Guzman leading the Big 12 in stolen bases this year.
That man at the plate, Gavin Kelly, one of the top draft prospects for next year's 2027 Major League Draft.
Runner goes. It's a strike throw to second for Ryan Taman, not in time. 37th steal for Armani Guzman.
Well, and West Virginia has more stolen bases than their opponent, 39-7. Absolute domination when they have induced chaos on the base paths, and now another run-scoring situation. Already 3 for 5 in that category today.
Guzman at second. Ness, 1 strike pitch, and that just missed. 1-1 the count is West Virginia, 100 or more steals in 4 of the last 5 years. And they finished second in the Big 12 in steals to Cincinnati this year.
Well, Tyrus Hall, first career grand slam, and what a moment for it.
The 1-1. 2-1 the count. And for Hall, 4 of his 6 homers have come since May 1st. And Ryan Taman making a slow walk to the hill.
Now, right now, you're just buying some time. He's going to call his infield in. But already down 8-1, and more damage looming here with the meat of the West Virginia order. A left-handed ace, Brady Estes, at least the fireman here, will be getting hot in a hurry.
Now the plate umpire, Mike Lusky, going out to break up the meeting.
That man has got to be enjoying himself here in Morgantown.
Right now, everybody at the ballpark wearing the Mountaineer blue and gold, enjoying themselves. 3-run homers set the tone from Sean Smith in the first. And a 5-run fourth, highlighted by the slam off the bat of Tyrus Hall. 8-1 West Virginia. Still just 1 out here in the home fourth. After the mound visit, Griffin Ness. The pitch. And Gavin Kelly lays off.
And this stance reminds you a little bit of Fernando Tatis Jr. with the hands high. Good little load. You want to talk about one of the freakishly good athletes, not only here, but in the country. Gavin Kelly, two-way threat.
3-1. And that's a strike from Griffin Ness to the outer half. And a full count on Keller. First team all Big 12.
Can you imagine this could be his last hitter with the lefty Schoenfeld on deck? Lefty Estes warming.
Kelly second in the Big 12 in hitting this year, third in on-base percentage. Ground ball left side. Breaking for third is Guzman. No play for Nate Castellona, third. And Gavin Kelly thrown out, 2 away. Even though the ball was in front of him, a really good read by Guzman, knowing he could get to third.
That was outstanding baseball instincts right there. Armani Guzman already premeditated. If he got the velocity off the bat, then he would be breaking for it and then forcing Castellon to have to go to first, and that's going to do it from what it looks like for Griffin Ness.
So with a left-handed batting, Paul Schoenfeld due for West Virginia. Cal Poly will turn to the lefty. Brady Estes coming out of the bullpen. The freshman will face Schoenfeld, the 9th batter of this bottom of the 4th. The offense for the Mountaineers, they have jumped on Griffin Ness. The 8 runs surrendered by Ness, the most he has ever allowed in a game for Cal Poly.
Wild. He will give way to the freshman left-hander Brady Estes. Last 7 times out, 10 innings, 2 earned runs, 6 hits, 14 strikeouts, 5 walks allowed.
Runner at third, 2 down. Paul Schoenfeld walked and scored in the first inning, grounded out in the third as Estes with a move to first base. And the 6'3" freshman from Rockland, California, on the outskirts of Sacramento. Takes over here. Good numbers for Estes this year. 1 start for Estes, and it's fouled back by Schoenfeld. And it's 0-1 the count, and Estes worked in the regional in LA last week for Cal Poly. Pitched against Virginia Tech last Friday, went 2/3 of an inning with a couple of strikeouts.
You see primarily fastball, curveball, a little bit of a slider and a change mixed in as well.
1 strike pitch, and that's grounded sharply foul over near the Cal Poly dugout.
Again, not an overwhelming amount of velocity. Again, 87-91. He'll sit right around 89-90. Runners in scoring position has been very solid against left-handed bats, just a 227 average against.
The 2-strike pitch in the air, left field toward the corner goes Dante Vicchini. He'll have a play, and the side is retired, but not before. The Mountaineers send 9 to the plate. They score 5. The slam from Tyrus Hall highlighted the inning. Through 4, 8-1 Mountaineers in game 1. Chance and Cole each of the last 9 outs via the strikeout.
Is that good?
Yeah,
it's gonna work. Pretty good, yes.
Dante Vicchini leads off the 5th. strikeout victim in the third. He is 0 for 1. He shows bunt, and it's ball 1 to the Cal Poly left fielder. 9-1-2 for the Mustangs here in the fifth. Cole, the pitch, and that's a line drive to right, and a leadoff single to open up the fifth for the Mustangs. Hit number 5 for Cal Poly. Bikini is on now to the top of the order, and Nate Castellon.
Just trying to get some momentum, right? You know, something here to get a little bit of a positive feeling back in your dugout. Leadoff single will help that effect. So the lineup, though, not going to go quietly. They have been outstanding. Again, 25-5 outscoring their opponents in the LA Regional, so it is definitely in there.
Inside ball 1 to Nate Castellon. Fly out and a strikeout. And Castellon, 5th toughest in the country to strike out. And Cole struck him out in the third, and he fooled him miserably there. It's 1-1.
The slider's been a lead for Jansen Cole. You kind of pick your poison here. Slider has been good. Changeup has been good. A sword for those of you that are of that ilk as well.
That was like a pitch where Castellon made up his mind before he was swinging around. 1-2 now on the Cal Poly shortstop.
You have under a 5% strikeout rate.
Weak number in front of the plate. Tough play out in front, and a nice play down to first, and handled by Matthew Gravelin for the out as Dante Bikini gets to second.
Very smart by Gravelin to call off Jansen Cole. Momentum taking him in the direction of where he was going to end up making the throw. It would have been very tough for Cole to be able to sideswipe and be able to sling it to first. So beautifully executed and fundamentally sound.
Bikini at second for Alejandro Garza, who is 0 for 2. Ground out and a strikeout. Cole, and that one is grounded over near the Mustangs dugout. It's 0-1.
Played his high school career under his head coach and his dad, Mike. I'm sure there were some interesting car rides home after some good and bad games.
Maybe you have to set the barriers on those
Talking
car
about
rides.
it for 5 minutes and that's it. We're done. We're moving on.
Or in the car, you become dad. Once you get into the car,
That's right.
No more baseball talk.
Right.
1-1 the count on Alejandro Garza. 9 strikeouts for Jansen Cole. Ground ball to short. Matt Einish looks the runner back and throws out Alejandro Garza at first. Textbook right there, and there's 2 away in the Cal Poly fifth.
Sun's out, guns out for P-Mac today.
No tank top?
I was kind of hoping he would have stayed true to the brand there. That would have been great.
He still had to have the West Virginia shirt.
Oh, no doubt.
Dylan Kordich homered in the fourth. He is 2 for 2. And he takes outside ball 2.
This has been a master class from Jansen Cole, really limiting a Cal Poly offense that thrived on taking advantage of mistakes. 3 pitches at will so far this afternoon.
It is 10th homer in the fourth. And that one gets away from the catcher Matthew Gravelin, and over to third goes Dante Bikini on the wild pitch.
He's trying to give him some love, but we're going to mix it up a little bit. Gravelin, that one just kind of snuck away from him. Funny bounce there on the turf. 3-0 count now, just trying to get a strike and a ground ball for Jansen Cole.
Ryan Taman looming on deck for the Mustangs. Jansen Cole, the pitch. And there is a fastball grooved right in there. 3-1.
And you'd think with a 7-run lead here, the idea being at pitch number 90, 91 coming, just continue to fill up the zone.
Fouled off by Kordich. After his 3-0, it's now full. And Kordich, his struggles last weekend despite Cal Poly going 3-0 in LA. And a homer already in game 1 of the Super Regional. Ground ball, foul of the first base side.
Cal Poly right now, they've had 9 at-bats with runners on, only 1 hit, but nothing to show thus far. 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. You heard Larry Lee visit with us earlier, said we had chances, and Chancey Cole has just wriggled off the rope.
Dante Vicchini, the runner, at third. The payoff to Kordich. The other way, liner to left, back on his Lumsden, still going back, reaches the rim of the warning track, and he makes the catch on the line drive to retire the side. 1 hit, 1 left for the Mustangs. Chancey Cole has shut down Cal Poly through 5. A little warm in Morgantown on this Friday afternoon. I'm guessing either school is not in or they have a note.
I'm telling you, a lot of people foregoing some commitments today to make this the destination. Can't blame them.
Well, the athletic director for West Virginia, Ren Baker, offered a note to people if they wanted to skip work today. I'm sure it worked for school also.
Yeah.
That they had an excused absence. Armani, rather, Sean Smith leads off the bottom of the 5th, and the DH middle third of the order for the Mountaineers, and it's ball 1. And Smith, a 3-run homer in the first, a double to get that 5-run rally in the 4th started for the Mountaineers. Brady Estes, and it's 2-0 on Smith.
You mentioned how about a real turn of events? You know, only hitting 200, Sean Smith in the regional. Mentioned the 5 hit by pitches. It was a hit by pitch brigade between Kentucky and West Virginia.
Popped out of play, and Smith also struck out 7 times in the regional.
Well, atoning for a subpar regional, no better way to do it than a 3-run. Got him to get the scoring started in the bottom of the 1st. And West Virginia has not looked back since then.
3-1 on Sean Smith leading off the 5th. 2 years at Georgia Southern. He hit .339 there after his first 2 years at Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College. 3-1. And that's a strike from Estes. Good fastball at 91, and the count is full on Smith.
Estes been really good so far. Just a .205 average against, been a bit better against right-handers right at the Mendoza line.
The pitch. And a hard grounder back through the middle. And Sean Smith is 3 for 3.
Baseball makes sense, right? And all kinds of trouble making solid contact this past weekend. No problem today. And Sean Smith, just a smooth return to sender up the middle. Perfect 3 for 3. It has been a force so far in the middle of the West Virginia lineup.
Turned that 90-mile-per-hour fastball around, almost 110 off the bat. Runner at first. Now Matthew Gravelin is 0 for 2. Mountaineers catcher squares, and he pulls the bat back on ball 1.
Now you think about where Gravelin and Gavin Kelly, both of them will share time behind the plate. Steve Saban saying they have been one of the great cores as far as a catching duo that they have had in West Virginia history, and it shows.
The versatility that Saban's has at his disposal with the movable parts, and Kelly can catch. Now he's at second base today. Gravelin's behind the plate, and it's 3-0 on Matthew Gravelin.
Chancey Cole told us when we visited him yesterday, he goes, it's kind of weird. I can have a catcher and Gravelin behind the plate, and then Gavin Kelly is a catcher that's at second base. So we have a mound visit. I got 2 catchers telling me, like, oh, I'm seeing this, I'm seeing that. Nice luxury to have.
Estes, the 3-0 pitch, and that is a strike, as Gravelin was showing bunt with no intention there. And we'll see, though, if they try to bunt here to get the runner over with 3-1 count. And it's in tight, 2 on, nobody out, and the Mountaineers are at it again.
Well, the discipline so far that Steve Saban's crew has shown has really been beneficial, especially in the middle of the lineup, and really setting the table for the bottom of the lineup to continue to be able to make life miserable for this Cal Poly pitching staff.
Ryan Taman, the catcher, along with the corner infielders, visit the hill. Game 1 of the Super Regional here in Morgantown. This whole side of the bracket, all 4 Game 1s will be today. Coming up later, Troy and Little Rock, and then North Carolina hosting USC. Mason Edwards, by the way, on the mound for Andy Stankiewicz and the Trojans. And then tonight on the Plains, Ole Miss and Auburn. We'll get that Super Regional started.
It's unbelievable. If you did not get to see the madness that transpired a week ago, 7 of the 16 national seeds bounce, including top-seeded UCLA. Number 2, Georgia Tech, walked off on by Oklahoma. Theater of the absurd from what we have seen.
Matt Einish, ball 1. He walked and scored in the 5-run 4th, and a fly out in the 1st. Sean Smith at 2nd, Matthew Gravlin at 1st. And it's 2-0, and Estes right now can't find the strike zone.
Yeah, again, you're going to have to try and find your way middle in here, and that's a tough way to do business, especially when you're in a run-scoring position. Now, Einish struggled in his own right, 176 in the regional, but a walk in the 4th inning trying to extend the lead here.
3-0 as he misses down low. And the bullpen will get some activity again for the Mustangs. You know Einish is taking here. And a strike from Brady Estes. Right at the bottom of the zone to Matt Einish. It's 3-1.
A chance to land a knockout punch right here, right? Nobody out. At minimum, Einish wanting to move both runners into scoring position.
Hitters count for Einish. Runners go. It's ball 4. They're loaded.
Well, if you're Larry Lee, head coach there of Cal Poly, getting a little bit more action going to the bullpen. Right-handed sophomore Troy Cooper is going to get moving around and starting to throw. But not ideal if you are the Mustang staff here. And Brody Kresser, one big hit away from making this feel like a monumental lead for West Virginia.
RBI single in the 4th for Kresser. He is 1 for 2. Estes with ball 1. And right now, Brady Estes is all over the place.
Now, freshman in these kind of spots, hostile environment. It's getting warmer out there. Game's starting to speed up a bit.
Popped up. Shallow right, coming in is Dylan Kordich. And the right fielder takes charge, makes the catch, bluffing. Down the line and back to 3rd goes Sean Smith. And that's exactly what Cal Poly needed.
100%, and might have caught a break too. I was watching Brody Kresser as he came through on the follow through with the swing. He kind of looked back as though he might have connected with Ryan Taman's catching glove. Take another look at it. Yeah, he definitely did on the follow through, and oof, that could have been bad news for arguably the best Cal Poly offensive weapon there in Ryan Taman.
Now Ben Lumsden, the hitter. 1 out, they're full. And a called strike to Lumsden, who walked and scored in the 4th, struck out in the 2nd. Already with 1 slam today, West Virginia. Sean Smith at 3rd, Matthew Gravlin, the runner, at 2nd, and Matt Einish, the runner, at 1st. And it's down low from Brady Estes, 1-1 on Ben Lumsden.
Well, if Troy Cooper can get ready, you have the righty Tyrus Hall, as you mentioned, already the grand slam man on deck. Lumsden been exceptionally patient so far.
On the ground, could be 2. Bobble. Jake down into 2nd, on to 1st. Nate Castellone, double play, and Cal Poly escapes without any damage.
What concentration by Downing. That could have just eluded him, and one error could have been compounded into 2, but he stuck with it. What a turn from Castellone. That's a huge inning-ending double play. Travel the time zone. I know it was an early wake-up call for our friends and family tuning us in there from the West Coast. We appreciate you. And what a season it has been for head coach Larry Lee and crew.
Called strike to Ryan Taman, middle third of the order for the Mustangs in the 6th. Against Chanson Cole, who has struck out 9. He's given up just 1 run on 5 hits as Ryan Taman takes ball 1. Taman is 0 for 2. There is activity for the first time in the West Virginia bullpen. Taman tied up there by the off speed.
Great changeup from Chance Cole today, and an elevated pitch count. You know, hey, good and bad with it. All the strikeouts. That's why he's almost at 100.
Now one skips through the catcher Matthew Gravelin. 2-2 the count on Ryan Taman leading off the 6th. And the NCAA did send 2 planes, 2 30-seat jets for Cal Poly to travel here to Morgantown. After the Mustangs were scrambling looking for commercial flights initially, as Ryan Taman is swinging a miss, and a season-high tying 10 strikeouts for Chanson Cole.
Again, just when you are pitching ahead in the count, life becomes a lot easier as a pitcher, and from the jump, Chanson Cole has had excellent off speed, both the slider and the changeup. 10 punchies, no walks. That's the big one. No self-inflicted wounds, has been in control.
Cam Hoyland takes ball 1. Approaching 100 pitches, Cole has only gone over 100 in 2 starts this season. 2-0 on Hoyland, and again, keep in mind, he threw 6 innings last Friday, threw 94 pitches in the win against Binghamton, and then came back Monday and threw 36 in that winner-take-all Game 7 against Kentucky.
Think about it too, that relief appearance for people who didn't see it. He was ahead in a 1-2 count, and we see Steve Sabins come to the mound. What is happening? The guy warming up in the bullpen right now, Dawson Montesa, also along with Bryant Yoke, had already thrown 123 pitches the night or the day before, and Cole has to come out because Steve Sabins kind of looked at his pitching coaches and said, well, what do you think? And they were like, it's probably time. And Steve Sabins goes, okay, I got another idea. He went and got Montesa. They got out of the inning. The rest is history.
Fouled straight back by Cam Hoyland. Full count on the Cal Poly DH. 1 out, top of the 6th. Here it comes to Hoyland. And it's strike 3 called. 11 strikeouts for Chanson Cole.
Well, your first Super Regional here in Morgantown, a start to remember for the big right-hander Chanson Cole. Another beautifully executed pitch. And Downing just watches it go by. Unreal effort from the right-hander.
Now it's Jake Downing, and a ground ball to first. Handle. Brody Kresser to the bag, to Cole covering, and a 1-2-3 inning. 6 strong innings from Chanson Cole. A season high, 11 strikeouts. 8-1 West Virginia. Tyrus Hall leads off the home 6th. And that one sails to the backstop from Brady Estes for ball 1. Hall the slam, highlighting that 5-run 4th inning for the Mountaineers. Here comes the 1-0. That is in there for a strike from the freshman Estes. West Virginia struck right away in the first inning. 4 batters in. Sean Smith, a 3-run homer. It was 3-0 Mountaineers after 1. Line drive, left center. Another hit for West Virginia. Casey Murray Jr. cuts it off. Wide turn, but slamming on the brakes. Tyrus Hall back to first base. And a leadoff single to open up the home half of the 6th for West Virginia.
Bears repeating that this roster for West Virginia has had a fair amount of transfers. And Tyrus Hall, of course, one of those that came in and has made quite the impact. Bottom of the lineup continuing to turn the lineup over. And that might do it for Brady Estes. here in the 6th.
That is the head coach, Larry Lee, on his way to the dugout. It was 3-0 West Virginia heading to the 4th when the homer by Dylan Kordich got the Mustangs on the board. But then West Virginia coming right back, and the Mountaineers putting up a 5 spot. In the home half of the 4th, the RBI single by Brody Kresser, and the slam off the bat of Tyrus Hall. It's Cal Poly going to the bullpen again. 8-1 West Virginia. Entire field from Omaha that's out of this year's tournament or didn't make it in LSU's case. Of course, LSU beat West Virginia in the Super Regional last year in Baton Rouge.
And 79% of Game 1 winners do advance to the Men's College World Series. Last season, 6 of those 8 Game 1 winners did that. And we will have a brand new field of 8 from last year to this year.
New pitcher is Troy Cooper for Cal Poly, the right-hander, a sophomore from Stevenson Ranch in Southern California. And Armani Guzman, the batter, top of the order, with Tyrus Hall, the runner, at first for the Mountaineers.
Be tasked with trying to keep it right at a 7-run deficit here. Fastball predominantly 86 to 92. He'll live right around that 89, 90 mile an hour range.
Ball 1 from Cooper. Pitched 1 inning last Saturday against St. Mary's in the 1-0 game at the Los Angeles Regional. And a scoreless inning against the Gales, where Cal Poly beat him 14-1. That one on the ground, sharply foul. It's 1-1 on Armani Guzman.
I was reading a little bit on background for Troy Cooper, and I think it's ironic. We just showed the construction here of the stadium in West Virginia. Troy Cooper, when it's all said and done on the playing side, how about wants to be a general contractor and work on stadiums?
Cal Poly is known for their engineering.
Indeed. But it's perfect. Perfect synergy.
Fouled off by Guzman, who's 2 for 3 in the ball game with a double, a run, and a stolen base. It is Cal Poly technical.
And they have, you think about how incredible 9 different majors represented on this team, Roxy.
And they're still in school, by the way.
They are.
1-2. That's fouled off by Guzman. They are on the quarter system, as the majority of the UCs in California are. Cal is the only one that's on semester. But they have players that are taking some finals here in Morgantown.
Right. How about the baseball program GPA? You want to talk about great on the field, even better in the classroom. Cumulative GPA over 3.0.
Runner goes, swing and a miss. Taman's throw down to second base, not in time. Tyrus Hall dives in with a stolen base. And Guzman strikes out for out number 1. And the 18th stolen base for Hall.
Now again, just great footwork here. Anticipation. That was a great break from Hall. Good first step. He's in there easily.
Now it's Gavin Kelly, who's 0 for 3, a couple of groundouts and a flyout. And diving in with a stolen base. That's the 2nd steal for West Virginia today. 106 on the year. And on the opposite side, Cal Poly doesn't run much at all. They have just 22 stolen bases this season.
Well, hard to play catch up running the bags when you're having a tough time getting on against Chance and Cole today.
The 1-0 to Kelly. Line drive to right, and that one sinks right toward Dylan Kordich. He rifles it back in, and back to second base goes Tyrus Hall. And there are 2 outs as Kelly hit it sharply the other way, but right at Dylan Kordich.
100 mile an hour exit velo. You're looking right there at one of the top draft prospects for next year. Could be a potential middle of the 1st round. Just the versatility, and even at a smaller size, he is so incredibly athletic, Roxy. An even better kid, completely grounded in his faith, has really been able to make his teammates so much better both on and off the field.
Now it's Paul Schoenfeld, 2 outs. And Tyrus Hall at second base. Cooper's pitch, and that is a strike to center fielder for West Virginia. Schoenfeld, his first year here in Morgantown after 3 years at Division II Colorado Mesa. One and one the count. Made that jump up. Played his freshman year at the JC level at Butler County Community College.
This dude is raked. It doesn't matter what school he's gone to. Last 3 years, hit over 400. As we said, one of the more memorable moments ever in West Virginia history here on Sunday.
Good block by Taman on a pitch that bounces. Again, the default is in the dirt, but there is no dirt. There is no grass on this field.
Well, talk about Paul Schoenfeld hitting a homer for a lifetime. How about this earlier in the season? Roxy, May 16th, back. Oh, let's run it down. Chris Berman would have loved that and been able to illustrate it perfect, but the versatility of Paul Schoenfeld on display as well.
Robbing TCU on that day back in the middle of April. And it's 2-2 on Schoenfeld. The pitch. And a full count now on Schoenfeld. We have two exceptional defensive teams in this Super Regional. That's one of the reasons why both Cal Poly and West Virginia are here.
Again, when you don't give the opposing offense extra outs to work with, you're going to be in business a lot of time to shut down bullpens as well.
3-2 on the way. Swing and a miss, got him, and struck him out with something soft. Second strikeout for Troy Cooper. One hit, one left for the Mountaineers. Bottom of the order coming up for Cal Poly. 8-1 West Virginia. 3 in the first, 5 in the fourth, and an 8-1 lead for the Mountaineers. Hosting a Super Regional for the first time against Cal Poly, who's in a Super Regional for the first time. Bottom of the order for the Mustangs. Ball 1 to Casey Murray Jr. Gavin Spiridonov, Dante Vicchini to follow here in the Mustang 7th. Murray hits it weakly to second base. Roller to Gavin Kelly. Throws out Murray at first, and there's one out.
Well, now if you're Steve Sabins, you're on borrowed time for Chance and Cole. This is all bonus outs that you can collect here. Reese Bassinger, one of the key relief arms in the Morgantown Regionals, starting to loosen. You would imagine they're going to go hitter to hitter here, but every out that Chance and Cole with this healthy lead is able to accumulate, those are precious bullpen resources to save for game 2 tomorrow.
Gavin Spiridonov takes the strike. 107 pitches now for Cole, who's retired 7 straight. The only run is surrendered was a homer to Dylan Cornage back in the 4th. And it's quickly 0-2 on the Cal Poly first baseman. Spiridonov pulls it into left. And a soft liner over third. And over toward the line, Ben Lumsden gets it back in. And Spiridonov, who had struck out each of his first 2 appearances against Cole, with a 1-out hit for the Mustangs.
Well, rare elevated sinker there, and Chance and Cole kind of knew it. Maybe some fatigue really starting to set in now. I mean, 109, 110 pitch coming here. Remember, he was in relief for a couple innings on Monday night, so still a quick turnaround for him for the work week.
Did fire a season-high 120 pitches against Kansas State in the rare 9-inning complete game.
Right?
Yes, those do still exist. Is back on May 2nd, Cole pitched a 5-hitter against K-State with 120 pitches going the 9 innings. He went the distance that day. 0-2 on Dante Vicchini. He gave up just a run on those 5 hits with 9 strikeouts against K-State.
Almost a similar performance here, just elevated in the strikeout department.
Reaching for it, and a weak tapper foul off the bat of Vicchini, who singled in the 5th. And the Cal Poly left fielder 1 for 2.
Now this is still a West Virginia team coming into these postseason rounds. Led the Big 12 in ERA, 9th nationally.
Off the outside.
He's got a little Logan Webb to him, you know, with the lower 3/4. It's primarily sinker and slider. He's tough to elevate.
1-2 pitch. Pulled sharply off the glove of the first baseman, Brody Kresser, who then retrieves it, gets the out at first. Going to second is Spiridonov. That was a rocket off the bat of Bikini.
102-mile-an-hour exit velo and nearly took out the stitching of Brody Kresser's first baseman glove. You take another look at it. Hey, a little buzzsaw down there, but stays with it. And a second out there.
Top of the order, Nate Castellón up for Cal Poly. Strike one. He is 0 for 3. Chanson Cole has been fantastic today for the Mountaineers. On the ground, right past Larry Lee, coaching third, who didn't even flinch.
Well, if this is it for Chanson Cole, you dream about it as a youngster, an opportunity to punch a ticket to the College World Series. I'm not sure if he could have dreamed up a better start than this.
Ground ball toward the hole, backhanded. Einish, a long throw to first, safe on a close play. Infield hit for Nate Castellón. Boy, Matt Einish did everything he could. That was a strong throw from deep in the hole.
Not much more you could ask, right? And that one with the carpet here, you're going to get a little bit more speed on your ground ball, so you've got to be better with the footwork, beat the ball to the spot. Again, to put it in the air, the arm strength to get it there, even better. But Cal Poly trying to get some sort of momentum here, and Steve Saban's maybe ready to call it a day for Chanson Cole.
The head coach emerging from the first base dugout. Cole, who has struck out 11 in 6 2/3, runner to the corners, 2 down here in the top of the 7th inning. No signals of the bullpen just yet, which is working beyond the right field fence. Now Mike Lusky, our plate umpire, out to the hill. Reese Bassinger firing away, and we'll see West Virginia elects to do. They will stick with Chanson Cole.
I got to tell you, Steve Saban's told us yesterday when it was Monday morning, he was looking his relievers in the eyes, all his guys on the pitching staff. He could tell from some guys, I don't think I'm going to go to you. Dawson Montesa was like, I feel even better after throwing 123 pitches. Chanson Cole perhaps talking himself into one more hitter to finish off a spectacular afternoon.
Alejandro Garza 0 for 3. Cole, the pitch. Strike one. Gavin Spiridonov, the runner at third. Nate Castellón across the way at first. Cole, the 1-strike pitch. Line to center. Coming on and drops in front of Paul Schoenfeld for a hit. Bounces away, but he quickly gets to it. Stopping at second is Castellón. Garza, an RBI single, and it's 8-2 West Virginia.
Well, this is just an absolute seed off the bat of Garza. 101-mile-an-hour exit velo, and he hit it right on the button. You can tell the fatigue setting in here for Chanson Cole. Another elevated pitch over the big part of the plate. Garza's had some really good swings today.
The all-time hits leader in Cal Poly history adds to his total. 2 on, 2 out for Dylan Kordich. And it's ball one, and Kordich is the only Cal Poly hitter that has not struck out today.
Remarkable considering 11 punch outs, career high for Chanson Cole.
Homered in the 4th. Kordich got under this one, a towering pop-up. Shallow center. Schoenfeld roaming in. Right on the logo. Makes the catch. Side retired. 1 run, 3 hits. We're stretching in Morgantown. 8-2 West Virginia. Pat McAfee's digging it.
They are comfortably ahead, trying to secure a Game 1 Super Regional win.
I gave you the stats before how significant a Game 1 victory is in a best-of-3 Super Regional. Sean Smith leads off the 7th and lines it back to the screen. Middle third of the order for the Mountaineers in the last of the 7th. Smith followed by Matthew Gravlin and Matt Einish. And a huge day at the plate for Sean Smith, the DH for the Mountaineers.
Just a triple shy of the cycle. Let's see if he can hit it in a gap.
Late on the fastball, it's 0-2.
I don't know if he's got the wheels, but we've seen crazy things happen here. We'll see.
They lead the Big 12 in triples this year. West Virginia hit 19.
Get number 20 for Sean Smith.
He's got 3. The 0-2, and that's fouled straight back.
Now you've got 5 walks for this West Virginia offense, 4 extra base hits, only 3 strikeouts. That is how you put up some crooked numbers and extend to a big early lead.
The pitch. And that strike 3 called on the outside edge from Cooper in his 3rd strikeout since entering.
It is a sneaky 92. It is some late life in the zone. You can kind of tell Sean Smith couldn't pull the trigger on being able to try and protect at the plate. Well executed from the sophomore right-hander. That's a dandy.
1 gone in the last of the 7th. And now Matthew Gravlin, the catcher for West Virginia, 0 for 2 with a walk. And a ground ball to 3rd that's handled wide of the bag, foul. 0-1 on Gravlin.
Or is it just showing off? That kid is special. That's just very big league. Everything in slow motion, but everything on time.
And he's not a big guy. He's 5'9", 165 pounds.
I mean, it comes out of that arm quick. It's a lightning bolt.
He had a throw last week at the Los Angeles Regional, and I had to do a double take. Did that just really happen?
Right.
He's got a missile across the diamond. Oh, 0-1 on Gravlin. Troy Cooper, the 3rd pitcher for Cal Poly today. And the pitch. Lined the other way, and Gravlin with a sharp single. Hit number 9 for the Mountaineers and a 1-out base runner in the last of the 7th.
Now again, just seeing it a long time. Gravlin 286 during the Morgantown Regional, scored 5 runs, had a couple extra base hits. He was an all Big Ten freshman when he was at Ohio State, but he has continued to mature, put on about 25 pounds from his freshman year to where he is right now. And Steve Saban saying, as we talked about a bit earlier, helping form one of the best catching cores with Gavin Kelly they've had in program history.
The other way, Matt Einish punches one into right. Or to left field, rather, going the other way. And there's 2 on with 1 out as Gravlin extending his hitting streak to 10 games. And now Einish with the single.
Good news there for the West Virginia offense, beating that shift. Infielders kind of pulled slightly over and more up the middle, so easy service to left and right back in business here at the bottom of the 7th.
2 on, 1 out for Brody Kresser. An RBI single and a run scored back in that 5-run 4th. 1 for 3 for the Mountaineers' first baseman today. 3 runs in the 1st, 5 in the 4th. The damage for West Virginia. And it's ball 1 from Troy Cooper. One-0 pitch, and that's in tight to Kresser. It's 2-0. Griffin Ness lasted only 3 2/3 in the start, giving up all 8 runs for the Mustangs, and the most runs he has ever surrendered in a start for Cal Poly. Brady Estes went an inning and a 1/3, and now Cooper. And that's tipped to the plate. It's strike 1.
It just uncharacteristic, right, from an absolutely dominant weekend in the Los Angeles Regional. And yes, Cal Poly did not have to face #1 overall seed UCLA, but still, you outscore your opponents 25-5. A lot of length from the rotation. Big reason why they're here.
And Ness, who'd been tremendous in his 4 career postseason starts. Ground ball to short. Diving stop. Nate Castellon flips, not in time. They're loaded for the Mountaineers with one out. Infield hit for Kresser.
What an effort by Castellón up the middle. All-regional team representative just a week ago, and this was all super regional-esque right here. That saves potentially a backbreaker for this Cal Poly team, and nearly with the flip, highly athletic, almost gets the force play at second.
Base is full, one out for Ben Lumsden, as there's the effort by Castellón. Lumsden grounded out into a double play with the bases full in the fifth, and he takes strike one.
Good curveball right there from Cooper, and now again you're still looking for that ground ball. Infield is shaded slightly up the middle, corners are tight.
Lumsden has walked and scored today, 0 for 2. Cooper, a one-strike pitch. Down and away as there is activity again in the Mustangs bullpen. A left-hander getting greased up down there. Line to right, toward the line. That's a hit and it'll roll for a while. Matthew Gravlin is in. Right behind him, Matt Einish. Rounding third, a late stop sign. Brody Kresser back to third base. Ben Lumsden a two-run double. 10-2 West Virginia.
It has just been an onslaught, and the bottom of this lineup delivering yet again for the Mountaineers. Lumsden hanging breaking ball, deposits that stage right, and just continuing what has been a remarkably consistent day. Now 5 for 13, the Mountaineer offense attack is with runners in scoring position this afternoon.
Two-run double for Lumsden, who now has a 6-game hitting streak. They're happy in Morgantown right now, to say the least. Second and third, one out, Tyrus Hall. And it's ball one from Cooper. The slam by Hall back in the fourth, and then singled in the sixth. He is 2 for 3. The bottom of the order coming up big for the Mountaineers in game one. Skied right side into foul ground, giving way, and a sliding catch is made. Now breaking for the plate is Brody Kresser. Safe on the close play at the plate. Now Taman looking for it. The second baseman, Jake Downing, racing over, making the sliding catch. And a sacrifice foul out to the second baseman.
I mean, a heroic effort, right? You can't fault that. And I know in the moment he's not thinking about potentially letting that just drop into foul territory. But Kresser, an absolutely heads up tag at third and another run across. It has been all Mountaineers. They have done everything right, and they lead it now 11-2.
Larry Lee to the mound to make a pitching change. And the head coach right there in the ear of Kresser to send him home. Steve Saban's getting another run. 11-2 West Virginia. Boy, Chris, an amazing scene here for game one, with West Virginia hosting a super regional for the first time. And the faithful have shown up and then some here for game one, as Josh Morano, the new pitcher for Cal Poly.
Again, you'll get a predominantly fastball changeup here. We'll mix in a little bit of a slider, but the big 6'4" lefty going to try and stem the tide here and preserve any momentum or chance whatsoever for Cal Poly to try and claw their way back into this one.
11-2 Mountaineers. There is Brody Kresser, who was a little bit banged up, diving in to score the run on the sac foul pop-up to the second baseman.
It was a heads-up play, right? Again, you're looking at all of the ground that Downing, the second baseman, traveled. There's not a lot of foul territory down the right field line here in Morgantown, but a heads-up base running play all the way around.
Jammed in a pop-up, tough play behind third, twisting and turning, and behind third base, Alejandro Garza able to run it down to take care of Guzman and the Mountaineers. But 3 more for West Virginia. We are through 7 in game one. 11-2 Mountaineers. Our Capital One rewarding performance and a dominant effort today. Chance and Cole setting the tone for the Mountaineers in game 1.
You dream of an opportunity to have one of the biggest starts of your life in front of your home faithful. How about delivering at points, striking out 6, 7 in a row, 7 sparkling innings, a career high 11 strikeouts on a career high 121 pitches. Take a bow, big fella. What a job by one of the aces of this West Virginia staff.
Magnificent day for Cole, and after getting banged up, but he stays in the game. Brody Kresser at first base. And the new pitcher for the Mountaineers is Reese Bassinger out of the bullpen. A 3.29 ERA, a couple of saves. His team leading 28th appearance for this senior.
It feels like the rubber arm of the back end of this bullpen, and there's a handful of them in there. But the transfer from Tarleton State last year, a couple appearances in the Morgantown Regional, 4 2/3 of 4 strikeout, 4 hit relief. You will see again another one of those kind of lower 3/4 arm slots here. Arsenal will be primarily fastball slider.
So Cole after the dominant 7 innings with 11 strikeouts and no walks. And now it's Bassinger out of the bullpen. Ryan Taman has struck out twice. He is 0 for 3 today. And a called strike to the Cal Poly catcher. We were talking to Chance and Cole yesterday and meeting with both teams prior to this super regional beginning. As Taman went fishing, and it's 0-2. And we're just reliving the game from Monday, that game 7. And the emotions, and just how do you turn the page if you're West Virginia? The dramatic theatrical win. And he said, look, they celebrated here for a little bit, and the majority of the team lives at the same apartment complex here in Morgantown. And they have this fire pit in the middle of their apartment building here. And they just sat out there for hours even after they got home, just reliving the night and rehashing it until like 3 o'clock in the morning. They're all sitting outside. And I get it, the adrenaline that's running through you, there's no way you can go to bed.
Oh no, he was saying it took a while to even get some sleep. But I asked him, I said, you know,
line and Taman off the glove with a diving first baseman Kresser into right, and in a foul ground, Taman digging for 2. The throw from Guzman, safe and sliding in with a double. And Ryan Taman extends his hitting streak to 14 games with that liner off the glove with a lunging Kresser.
Oh, this is a missile off the bat, 103-mile-an-hour exit velo, and it trickles down into the little caveat right there in the right field foul territory. That is an absolute bazooka from Armani Guzman, nearly having a potential play at second, but Taman aboard with the leadoff double.
Now it's Cam Hoyland who is 1 for 2 with a double back in the second. And that ball's lined to right. And that one is caught on the move by Guzman for the out. That hit well by Hoyland, but too well.
Back-to-back triple-digit exit velos, 103 from Taman, 102 from Hoyland. And I'm sure a sigh of relief collectively in the dugout of finally someone other than Chance and Cole to try and get this thing turned around.
Taman extends that hitting streak to Co-Big West Player of the Year, as Taman shared the award with Paul Contreras from Cal State Fullerton. He's at second, 1 out here, top of the 8th. And ball 1 to Jacob Downing, who's 0 for 3 today. But after a game like that, I'd have to imagine just what's running through your body. It takes a while to come back down to earth.
I know Tom Hart and I stood here and we felt like fans when you had Guzman with the theatrics and then the singing of Country Roads, and it felt like all 5,000 were here in unison in one of the most unbelievable moments. And for days now, not only locally but nationally, it has captivated not only the college baseball world but the country in general.
Downing taps it foul the plate. And look, there's a lot going on in college athletics now, a lot that can be frustrating for people, and the way you look at the landscape. But that's some of the great for college athletics. The scene, the spectacular, the community coming together in a moment like they had here in Morgantown on Monday. That's part of the greatness and the wholesomeness of college athletics. Ground ball to second. Gavin Kelly up with it. Short throw to first as Ryan Taman goes to third.
I think what struck us most is, I rode home after Monday night and just getting calls from people like, can't believe the scene there. I'm telling you, it is a core baseball memory for me. Even making it to the major leagues, having been part of walk-offs as a teammate and a player, that what you watched on Monday, both locally and nationally, will live with you for the rest of your life.
Ball one to Casey Murray Jr., single back in the fourth. He is 1 for 3. 4 game ones today at the Super Regionals. And we'll have game 2s tomorrow with the other 4 series. And a throw back to third gets away from Tyrus Hall, but backed up by Matt Einish for the Mountaineers. And the other 4 Super Regional series that will begin tomorrow.
Right, and again, some close encounter right here. That's a great job, and that's kind of a premeditated play. You almost like you come up casually as though you're going to throw it back to your pitcher and then snap throw to third. You don't want Cal Poly to hang around and create a couple of runs here and feel like they've still got a shot.
And it's a called strike from Bassinger. 3-1 the count on Casey Murray Jr. Top of the zone, full count. Good fastball from Bassinger to the outer half.
He was the winning pitcher in the regional final against Kentucky last year. He has been on the mound in the biggest of moments for West Virginia these last couple of years.
3-2 pitch to Murray. Fouled away. Maybe for our friends up on Randy's Ridge.
I'm telling you, you got some brave souls that are laying on him. If you're sitting, I mean, the legs are starting to get a bit heavy trying to keep you upright.
Boy, I hope they brought their sunscreen. 3-2, and it's ball 4, and Murray draws a walk. That is the first walk issued by West Virginia pitching here in game 1.
Just a heck of an at bat right there. And again, up 3-0, then battle back to 3-2. Just a well executed at bat, and now a little something cooking, even with 2 down here.
Gavin Spiridonov singled and scored in the 7th. The freshman first baseman 1 for 3 for the Mustangs. Ryan Taman at third, Casey Murray Jr. the runner at first. Reese Bassinger, strike 1.
And it has been trouble for Bassinger, especially against righties with runners in scoring position, a .333 average.
Hard grounder on 1 bounce to short. Matt Einish goes to second, gets the force on Casey Murray Jr., and the side is retired. 1 hit, 2 left to the last of the 8th. 11-2 Mountaineers. The big inning has been the big theme for West Virginia today. 3 runs in the first, 5 in the 4th, 3 more in the last of the 7th. And in game 1, West Virginia leads at 11-2 as we go to the last of the 8th inning. And again, the first time that West Virginia has hosted a Super Regional against Cal Poly, who's in a Super for the first time.
And obviously, game 1, the winner has been so critical almost 80% of the time that you have moved on to the College World Series. One of these teams will punch their ticket to Omaha for the first time once this weekend is complete.
First postseason appearance for Arlo Pendleton, just his 9th overall for the freshman from Petaluma, California, which is north of San Francisco by about an hour. North Bay. And Pendleton, who hasn't pitched since the middle of May, And he will face 2, 3, and 4 Gavin Kelly, Paul Schoenfeld, and Sean Smith here. And the 6'5" freshman right-hander, good numbers and limited opportunities for Pendleton.
Fastball slider change on 3-pitch mix, about 89-92 for the fastball velocity. And hey, welcome to it here, young pup. One of the best major league prospects for next year's draft awaits you in the batter's box.
Gavin Kelly 0 for 4, 2 flyouts, 2 groundouts. Pendleton the pitch, and it's ball 1. Game 2 of this Super Regional. We'll have it for you on ESPN2 tomorrow. Noon Eastern, 9 out west. And top 10 prospect for next year's draft, according to Major League Baseball ESPN draft analyst Kylie McDaniel. And that one finds the gap. It skips over the head of Casey Murray Jr. Flying around second, slamming on the brakes. And Gavin Kelly retreats to second. And a leadoff double and a ball hit out toward right center. And there's another example of maybe Cal Poly not used to playing on this surface.
The swing speed first is great, and you could see he was thinking 2 out of the box. But Murray Jr., and it's going to be one of those times where you got to be more conservative. You can tell Gavin Kelly was thinking 3, wisely pulls up there with a leadoff double.
Every West Virginia hitter has reached today now. Kelly at second, Paul Schoenfeld walked and scored back in the first. He is 0 for 3. 13 hits now for the Mountaineers. Strike call. Kelly, a 6-game hitting streak, now at second. The Morgantown Regional most outstanding player hit 3 homers and 3 doubles in that regional last weekend. And now his 4th double of the NCAA tournament. 1-1 on Schoenfeld.
The pop that we heard in this stadium, Roxy, when he connected, it was an absolutely out-of-body experience, considering the moment, completing the comeback, and then that homer putting them ahead for good to force Game 7 on Monday night.
Here's a called strike. 1-2 on Schoenfeld. That 9th inning rally with their season on the line against Kentucky. They were down 9-6 going to the top of the 9th. They were the visiting team in that game. Fouled off.
Crazy part about it, in the bottom of the 8th, Kentucky goes back-to-back. Jace Tarnish, Tyler Bell, and then to cap off, just an unbelievable comeback. Knew it as soon as he hit it. And that made it a 2-run advantage for West Virginia, and I don't think anyone sat down until they left the park after that.
5-run 9th. As Kentucky was on the precipice of winning this Morgantown Regional. That's become kind of a new rivalry in college baseball. You look at the postseason the last number of years when West Virginia and Kentucky have squared off.
No love lost between those 2 teams, that's for sure.
Line drive to right. Good break on it. Coming over and in is Dylan Cordage for the out. Out, trying to get back to second base. They doubled off Gavin Kelly. Line drive, double play.
A rare mental mistake from Gavin Kelly. I don't know if he just forgot kind of where he was, but this is a laser beam. 101 off the bat for Schoenfeld. Cordage does the right thing. First of all, you got to make an accurate throw. He does that, and yeah, Gavin Kelly out in no man's land just kind of forgot the situation, and a twin killing there for Cal Poly.
2 outs, Sean Smith. 3-run blast in the first inning. He is 3 for 4. He scored 2 runs. And Smith has also doubled in this game. 2 down here in the bottom of the 8th. You go back to 2023, and West Virginia went to the Lexington Regional, losing to Kentucky. And then they played in the same regional last year.
It was unbelievable. And Armani Guzman right in the middle of all of it as Sean Smith here at the plate. But Guzman, the MVP of the regional in Clemson last year, when West Virginia again with a 6-run comeback against Kentucky.
3-0 on Sean Smith. We assume tomorrow it'll be Carson Turnquist for Cal Poly and Max Yale for West Virginia.
You would imagine, and Steve Saban's electing to kind of keep the cards close to the vest.
And a 4-pitch walk. Sean Smith aboard here with 2 down.
Walk number 6 for the West Virginia offense. And a lot of that from Steve Saban's conversation with us, and you can understand why. He said, I want to worry about game 1. However we get there, win or lose, that will probably dictate a lot more about what our need is from pitch number 1 on Saturday.
Freshman Sean McGrath warming up in the Cal Poly bullpen. And a called strike to Matthew Gravelin.
And I think if you were to ask in his heart of hearts, if you were going to get 7 sparkling innings from Chanson Cole, and you could pretty much to this point stay away from all of your big time leverage arms as far as relievers go, then you can connect the dots about who potentially gets the ball tomorrow.
And if it is Max Yale, you have the Big 12 pitcher of the year looming for game 2, up 1-0 in this super regional.
What a heck of a matchup that will be, because you mentioned Turnquist, probably the best pro prospect on this Mustang staff too.
Mighty cut by Gravelin. It's 1-2. As Turnquist 9-2 and a 3.35 ERA, while Yale 8-2 with a 2.12 ERA.
2 different styles from both those guys. You get premium power stuff from Turnquist. You get an elevated velo, but much more reliant on some command. Max Yale, a bevy of off speed that he can go to. But this could not have worked out better for Steve Saban's, his staff, and their plan as far as what they could foresee headed into tomorrow afternoon.
2-2 the count on Matthew Gravelin. Arlo Pendleton. The pitch. In the air, left field. Back on it is Vicchini at the track. Looks up off the top of the wall in left center. They're going to hold Sean Smith at third, where that high fence just to the center field side of the Cal Poly bullpen, and the double-decker kept it in the ballpark.
Somebody is sending an email to Ren Baker, athletics director of West Virginia, and saying, can we get that removed? That is all that held Matthew Gravelin from having the exclamation point on this offensive outburst. And just a tick to the left, he would have been dancing even more than what he already was there with a double at second base.
Yeah, the first email might come from Matthew Gravelin's family.
Right.
Second and third, 2 down. Matt Einish has scored 2 runs. Singled in the 7th. He's walked twice today. And the Mountaineers now with 14 hits, couple of homers, including a slam by Sean Smith, rather by Tyrus Hall. Smith had the 3-run blast in the first inning.
Half of those 14 hits for extra bases. They have done damage all afternoon here, start to finish.
2-0 on Einish. Pendleton, the pitch, and it's 3-0. And McAfee's still standing.
I mean, God bless him.
Him and Rich Rod.
I give him credit. He's trying to stay as hydrated as possible. That's probably taking a toll standing up that long.
Oh, now he sat down. Called strike.
Hey,
As soon as we pointed it out.
hey, listen, gravity will get the better of you at this point in the game. That sun beating down on you. He's got to absolutely love, he and Rich Rodriguez, what they have seen from the Mountaineer baseball team.
3-1. And it's high, they're loaded as Einish has walked for a 3rd time.
Well, make it 7 walks now for West Virginia's offense. Only 4 strikeouts. This will be their 19th, pardon me, their 20th at-bat upcoming here with runners on today.
And it's Brody Kresser who is due. And a mound meeting for the Mustangs here with 2 outs in the last of the 8th.
Now, if you're thinking head coach Larry Lee's side here, yeah, we're going to play 9 innings here, but you start to kind of think ahead to tomorrow. Who do you want to hold back? Obviously, one of their best and one of the best in the nation, Nick Bone, who has the most amount of saves in the country. You will probably see him for multiple frames regardless of the score tomorrow.
And Bond can reach triple digits with his fastball. Bases full, 2 outs. Brody Kresser, an RBI, back in the 4th. And it's ball 1 to the West Virginia first baseman, who's 2 for 4 in the ballgame. Bases full for West Virginia. The 1-0. And that's high from Arlo Pendleton. 2-0.
Brody Kresser, again, for those that watched a bit last year, had filled in at shortstop a couple of years ago for J.J. Weatherholt, then slid back to second base, started at shortstop in last season's opening stanza.
Down the right field side, slicing. Foul.
You talk about the pro pedigree for Cal Poly. You might be staring at the rookie of the year in J.J. Weatherholt on the National League side. What a year he has had for the St. Louis Cardinals. Has been so giving already in his young professional tenure back to this program here in Morgantown.
West Virginia baseball has been pretty good to the Cardinals.
I would say so.
Victor Scott.
Yeah.
The 2-1. But Cal Poly had a pretty significant St. Louis Cardinal in their own right.
The Wizard of Oz, that might be the trump card.
Three and 1, 2 down, they're loaded for the Mountaineers. The pitch popped up, this will get out of play. Full count on Brody Kresser.
Multi-hit efforts from 5, make it 6 Mountaineers so far today. Brody Kresser, one of them.
7 of their 14 hits have gone for extra bases. They're loaded with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Full count for Kresser. Pendleton ready. And the pitch. And it's high. Ball 4 that walks in a run. 12-2 West Virginia. In case you're wondering, no run rule in the NCAA tournament.
And that is probably the end of the afternoon for Arlo Pendleton, making 8 walks now for the West Virginia attack. A double-digit lead here in Morgantown.
Larry Lee making a pitching change for the Mustangs. All right, Chris, so that game 1 of the Chapel Hill Super Regional coming up next.
It'll be a good one. That's a heck of a series.
12-time national champion USC Trojans.
I was on the call for the Chapel Hill Regional when Arizona upset them last year.
First pitch, flared down the left side toward foul ground. And it's just wide of the left field pole down there. Off the bat of Ben Lumsden, it's 0-1 as he was bidding for a slam the other way.
Wow.
The pitcher is Sean McGrath, freshman from Novato up in the North Bay, San Francisco Bay Area. Inherits the bases full with 2 outs.
Fastball slider here from the right-hander, a little changeup too. I'm gonna tell you something, Roxy. I would have done a little campaigning if I were Ben Lumsden. That is a very slim margin between fair and foul for the second grand slam of the day.
1 strike pitch. 0-2 on Lumsden. 2-run double in the 7th. He is 1 for 3. McGrath, the 6th Cal Poly pitcher of game 1. Two-strike pitch. On the ground, right side. Toward the hole, flagged down by Jake Downing. And he gets the out at first to retire the side. Another run for the Mountaineers. 12-2 West Virginia. We go to the 9th. no one has left. Majority of the crowd is still standing.
You know why?
And they've been into it since early this morning.
They are waiting to cue it up, man. And they are 3 outs away from an impressive, dominant Game 1 win in the Morgantown Super Regional.
New pitcher is Carson Estridge, the 6'7" righty. After a scoreless inning from Reese Bassinger, the numbers for Estridge on the season. And his chore to get the final 3 outs and put the Mountaineers up 1-0 in this best-of-3 Super Regional.
Was a relief ace a couple years ago for this Mountaineer club. Inning and 2/3 in the Morgantown Regional. Had a rough time out there, 5 hits allowed, but right now in cleanup duty to try and get this thing across the finish line so that Steve Sabins can save those valuable leverage relief arms for tomorrow in a potential clinch spot.
Sean Smith got it started offensively. The 3-run blast in the first for West Virginia, and then the 5-run fourth, highlighted by the slam off the bat of Tyrus Hall. 12-2 Mountaineers. Dante Vicchini leads it off for Cal Poly in the 9th. And a great scene up on Randy's Ridge, all throughout the ballpark here in Morgantown.
Feels like the state is upon us. Everyone congregated here to watch what has been the story of college baseball from last weekend. They have made it stand up and then some here this afternoon.
Dante Vicchini singled in the 5th. He is 1 for 3. 9-1-2 for the Mustangs in the 9th, and it's ball 1. And a win by West Virginia today. It will become the 2nd time in West Virginia history they've been within 1 game of reaching the Men's College World Series. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Vicchini. And that one off his front foot. It's 1-1. 1955, West Virginia was eliminated in district play by eventual national champion Wake Forest.
Wow.
And that was the last time they were within 1 win of going to the College World Series.
All right, 2024, they win the Tucson Regional, punch their ticket to Chapel Hill. Tough end to the glorious coaching career of Randy Mazey. He would hand the reins over to Steve Sabins.
Line foul. And they were swept in that Chapel Hill Super Regional.
Right, last year, the dramatic come from behind win over now what feels like a new rival in Kentucky. They would head to Baton Rouge and fall to the eventual national champions.
2 games to LSU and Jay Johnson's team. 1-2 to Vicchini. Popped it up. Waiting for it to come down and taking charge. That's the shortstop, Matt Einish. 1 out of the 9th.
Steve Sabins said this is the best atmosphere in college baseball. Well, this past weekend, they made a believer out of a lot of people who have watched this team for the first time. The way they play, the grit, really epitomizing the community in this state.
Nate Castellone. Foul ball, strike 1.
And what Steve Sabins has continued. Randy Mazey laid the foundation, built it into a contender. They finally burst through the door in 2024 to be on the precipice of getting to Omaha. And continued the momentum last year, have come up short. Sometimes, Roxy, right, you got to knock on the door a couple of times in a row. Maybe, just maybe, the opportunity has arrived in 2026.
There is the former head coach, Randy Mazey, taking this one in. 2-1 on Nate Castellone. Singled in the 7th is 1 for 4. And Steve Sabins, 9 years an assistant to Mazey, and now his 2nd season as the West Virginia head coach. Ground ball to 3rd, routine for Tyrus Hall. Across to 1st, 2 outs in the 9th. Reiner coming up next. We'll take you to Chapel Hill.
Well, he picked a great day, Pat McAfee did, to come out and watch his mates. And the West Virginia faithful showing up bright and early.
You want to know why there's no McAfee show today?
That's
this is why.
Randy's Ridge alive and well from sun up. They will be there until sundown and ready to re-rack it tomorrow afternoon.
Alejandro Garza. 2 outs in the ninth. The pitch fouled away. Carson Estridge trying to finish this one off and give West Virginia a 1-zip lead in this best-of-3 Super Regional. One strike pitch. 1-1 on Alejandro Garza. Just a reminder with game 2, Cal Poly will be the home team tomorrow, even though, well, technically the home team.
They'll be home.
They will bat last.
They
How's
will.
that?
That is about as close as
far
home.
from the home team.
Correct.
Here comes the 1-1 to Garza. Ground ball towards short. Charging it, Matt Einish. Fields on to first. 1-2-3 go the Mustangs in the ninth. And West Virginia has won game 1 decisively 12-2 over Cal Poly.
A complete domination from start to finish, and they are on the precipice again. 1 win away from punching their ticket for the first time to the Men's College World Series. 7
brilliant innings from Chance and Cole, 11 strikeouts, and a 14-hit attack. Do it for West Virginia. 12-2, they win game 1. For Jensen Lewis, our entire crew in Morgantown, I'm Roxy Bernstein. Now we take it to Mike Farron, Gabby Sanchez, USC, North Carolina, Chapel Hill.